Good evening, all. I'm Sneha Mohan, an OET aspirant from Edu Skills International. As you all know, Edu Skills International is a free OET training platform, and our signature is Smile. Okay. So, are you all ready to fall in love with OET? Are you ready for today's session? Yes. Today, I'll be taking session on reading part C. Today's session is on reading part C, and we have already discussed the 4 questions. Today, I will be discussing on remaining 4 questions of sample 3, text 2, that is prenatal origins of heart disease. So it is a sample 3 of OET, official sample. And before I start, I would like to thank OET for allowing me to use the sample. So let us move on to question number 19. What assumption was proved wrong by the results of the study? So in reading part C, we are following QTA method, that is question, text, and answer method. And before we start reading part C, you have to number the paragraphs. This will really help you to solve the questions easily, because in each questions, it will be mentioned first paragraph, second, or the final paragraph. So it will be easy for us to go to that particular paragraph and find out the answer. So here it is asked, what assumption was proved wrong by the results of the study? Okay. So the keywords taken are assumption, results, and proved wrong. So it's mainly related to the study. So after reading the question, we have to read the text. Yes, the text says, what Gisani found was that the high altitude babies showed a pronounced reduction in birth weight compared with low altitude babies, even in cases of high maternal nutritional status. Babies born to low-income mothers at sea level also showed a reduction in birth weight, but the effect of undernutrition was not as pronounced as the effect of high altitude on birth weight. Clearly, fetal oxygenation was a more important determinant of fetal growth within these communities. Remarkably, although one might assume that babies born to mothers of low socioeconomic status at high altitude would show the greatest reduction in birth weight, these babies were actually heavier than babies born to high-income mothers at high altitude. It turns out that the difference lies in ancestry. So now we have finished the text. Now let us see the answer options. Answer option A, lower income mothers generally give birth to lower weight babies. The keywords taken are lower income mothers and lower weight babies. Answer option B, a baby born at high altitude will typically weigh less than one born at sea level. So here the keywords taken are high altitude and weigh less. Answer option C. Levels of oxygen have a greater impact on birth weight than nutritional status does. The keywords are oxygen and impact on birth weight. Answer option D. There is a correlation between prenatal oxygen levels and predisposition to heart disease. So now we have finished the question, text, and the answer options. So if you are able to find out the answers, you can mention the answers in the chat box. Let's see what is the correct answer. Yes, answer option A is the correct answer. So whenever you read the question, you have to read it correctly. What assumption? Assumption means belief. What assumption was proved wrong? So what you have to expect, the other options, some of the options will be correct and one option will be wrong option. You have to select which was proved wrong by the results of the study. Okay. Now let's see this. Before I explain you the correct answer, I will just explain you how I've eliminated the other answer options. So answer option B. A baby born at high altitude will typically weigh less than one born at sea level. So it is mentioned here in the first sentence. High altitude babies showed a pronounced reduction in birth weight compared with low altitude babies. That is the synonymous used. Low altitude babies they are the ones born at sea level. So it is mentioned in the text and it is proved right. It was not the one which was proved wrong. Okay. This just asking what assumption was proved wrong by the results of the study, which was done by Gisani. Okay. Next, answer option C. Levels of oxygen have a greater impact on birth weight than nutritional status does. Yes, this was also proved by the team. If you can see in the text, fetal oxygenation was more important determinant of fetal growth within these communities. So, fetal oxygenation, that is mainly the levels of oxygen, have a greater impact on birth weight than nutritional status does. So here the sentence is paraphrased and told, and it was proved right. So that is not the answer option. Next, let's see answer option D. There is a correlation between prenatal oxygen levels and predisposition to heart disease. So when you all have listened to the text, when you have read it, did you find any correlation mentioned between prenatal oxygen levels and predisposition to heart disease? No, it is not mentioned. So we are eliminating answer option B, C, and D. Okay. Now it is told answer option. Yes, let's see the correct answer option. The answer option A says lower income mothers generally give birth to lower weight babies. Okay. So here, after remarkably, so surprisingly, it is told, although one might assume, there's a modal verb. Okay. Might is a modal verb. Assume, again, you can see the question. In the question stem, it is asked assumption. So in the text also it is mentioned assume, okay, believe, okay, that babies born to mothers of low socio-economic status. So low socio-economic status, the synonym is low income mothers, which is there in the answer option, okay. Low socio-economic status at high altitude would show the greatest reduction in birth weight, okay. These babies were actually heavier than babies born to high income mothers at high altitude. So it is telling that lower income mothers, that is mothers of low socioeconomic status, they are expected to give babies with reduced birth weight. But what has happened? These mothers were given birth to heavier babies than born to high income mothers at high altitude. So this was proved wrong. Okay. Lower income mothers generally give birth to lower weight babies. No, what it was proved that lower income mothers give birth to, yes, babies which are heavier. Okay. So we are selecting the answer option A as the correct one. I hope all of you understood question number 19. Now, let us move to question number 20. In the sixth paragraph, question number 20, in the sixth paragraph, what is suggested about the inhabitants of La Paz? Okay. So in the previous questions, we have discussed regarding Bolivian cities, that is La Paz and Santa Cruz. Okay. So in the sixth paragraph, what is suggested about the inhabitants of La Paz? The keywords taken are suggested and inhabitants of La Paz. And you will find the answer in the sixth paragraph. So as per father strategies, we are following QTA method in reading part C. Let's read the text. The lower socio-economic groups of La Paz are almost entirely made up of Aymara Indians, an ancient ethnic group with a history in the Bolivian highlands spanning a couple of millennia. On the other hand, individuals of higher socio-economic status represent a largely European and North American admixture, relative newcomers to high altitude. It seems, therefore, that an ancestry linked to prolonged high altitude residence confers protection against reduced atmospheric oxygen. So now we have finished reading the text. Let us see the answer options. Answer option A. The altitude affects all socio-economic groups in a similar way. The keywords are socio-economic groups, and there's also an absolute all. Next, answer option B. There is a high degree of ethnic diversity at all levels of society. The keywords taken are high degree of ethnic diversity. Next, answer option C. Most residents have a shared ancestry going back to 2000 years. The keywords taken are shared ancestry, 2000 years, and there's also a scale expression, most. Answer option D. Poorer residents have a genetic advantage over those with higher incomes. The keywords are poorer residents, genetic, and higher incomes. So, as you all have read question, text, and answers, you can put your answers in the chat box. Okay, now let's see what's the correct answer. Yes, D is the correct answer. Okay, I'll be explaining on how I have derived the correct answer. Before that, let us see the eliminated ones. Okay. In the sixth paragraph, what is suggested about the inhabitants of La Paz? Okay, answer option A says the altitude affects all socioeconomic groups in a similar way. It is not mentioned in the text. Okay, it's mainly mentioned about the group of people in La Paz. Okay, next, answer option B. There is, sorry, this is spelling mistake. There is a high degree of ethnic diversity at all levels of society. This is also not mentioned in the text. Next, answer option C. Most residents have a shared ancestry going back 2000 years. Yes, it is not mentioned, but see, you can see this. You may get confused and you may select C as the answer option. The lower socio-economic groups of La Paz are almost entirely made up of Aymara Indians, an ancient ethnic group with a history in the Bolivian highlands spanning a couple of millennia. Yes, you may think that this will be wrong, seeing this couple of millennia, which is used here as, there's a synonymous expression used, 2000 years. But you should see the scale expression also in the answer option C. It is mentioned most residents, but it is not the most residents of La Paz. It's only Aymara Indians. Okay. So we are eliminating answer option C. Next, answer option D. That is the correct answer. Here, poorer residents have a genetic advantage over those with higher incomes. So if you could see the last line in the paragraph, it seems, therefore, an ancestry link to prolonged high altitude residence confers protection against reduced atmospheric oxygen. That is, poorer residents, the mainly lower socio-economic groups. Okay, poorer residents are the those involved in, those belong to lower socio-economic groups. Okay, Here you can see the sentence. This last line is paraphrased and told. Poorer residents have a genetic advantage of over those with higher incomes. See, the entire paragraph, the paragraph is begun by telling that the lower socioeconomic groups of La Paz are almost entirely made up of Aymara Indians. And these Aymara Indians are staying in the Bolivian highlands for a couple of millennia, that is for about 2000 years. So those who are staying in that area, they are benefited more. Okay. Next, on the other hand, they're talking about individuals of higher socio-economic status. Okay. These Aymara Indians belong to lower socio-economic groups, whereas now they're talking about individuals of higher socioeconomic status. They are mainly the European and they belong to European and North American admixture. But here it is clearly mentioned after the comma, relative newcomers to high altitude. These people are relatively newcomers to high altitude. But whereas Aymara Indians are been staying in Bolivian highlands since 2000 years. So the next line, the final line is telling that sentence is talking about poorer residents. That is, it seems, therefore, an ancestry link to prolonged high altitude residence. Prolonged high altitude residence means staying in that high altitude for a long period of time. Okay, so who was staying in the high altitude for long period of time? They are the Aymara Indians and they have been staying for a couple of millennia. Okay. So they confers protection against. They gain protection against reduced atmospheric oxygen. So that is an advantage which they are getting being in the Bolivian highlands for a long period of time. So I hope all of you understood how I derived the correct answer. That is answer option D. Now let's move on to question number 21. Question number 21. The purpose of the information in the sixth paragraph is to provide. So the keywords taken in the question are purpose, information, and provide. And where can we find the answer? We can find the answer in the sixth paragraph. So it's clearly asked, the purpose of the information in the sixth paragraph is to provide. So some information they have provided and we need to find out what is the aim, what is the purpose of the information which has been mentioned in the sixth paragraph. Now let's read the text. The lower socio-economic groups of La Paz are almost entirely made up of Aymara Indians, an ancient ethnic group with a history in the Bolivian highlands spanning a couple of millennia. On the other hand, individuals of higher socio-economic status represent a largely European and North American admixture, relative newcomers to high altitude. It seems, therefore, that an ancestry link to prolonged high altitude residence confers protection against reduced atmospheric oxygen. Yes, now after reading the text, let's see the answer options. Answer option A, an alternative approach to a puzzle. The keywords are alternative approach. Next, answer option B, a confirmation of a hypothesis. The keyword is confirmation. Answer option C, an explanation for a finding. The keyword is explanation. Answer option D, a solution to a problem. The keyword is solution. So as we have read the question, text, and answers, you can mention the answers in the chat box. Let's see what's the correct answer. Yes, the correct answer is answer option C. See, all the paragraphs in reading part C are interconnected. So when you are reading each paragraphs, you will be getting an understanding of the previous paragraphs as well as the present one which you're reading, and you can understand the interconnection between each paragraphs. Okay. So here the question is asked, the purpose of information in the sixth paragraph is to. So answer option A is an alternative approach to a puzzle. There's no puzzle mentioned, or it's not mentioned about an alternative approach to solve a puzzle. So it is not mentioned. So we are eliminating answer option A. Next, answer option B. Answer option B says that a confirmation of hypothesis. Is there some theory mentioned in this text? No. So it's not about the confirmation of hypothesis. The purpose of the information is to provide a confirmation of hypothesis. No, it is not mentioned. Next, answer option D. The purpose of the information in the sixth paragraph is to provide a solution to a problem. So is there any solution mentioned anywhere in the text? I mean, problem or solution has been mentioned to a problem? No, it is not mentioned. So we are eliminating answer option D. And answer option C is an explanation for a finding. So in the previous text, it is mentioned that mainly the discussion happening in this extract is the prenatal origins of heart disease. So they are comparing the people from higher and lower altitudes, and they want to know why these mothers are having the heavier babies, and why the others with the lower altitudes are giving birth to uh, babies which are less in weight, okay, who have lower birth weight. So this is the concern in the entire paragraphs. If you have read the previous paragraphs, you'll know that. So here it is clearly mentioned in the last line. It seems therefore that an ancestry linked to prolonged high altitude. So they are explaining us that why these people in La Paz are having, that is mainly the lower socio-economic groups of La Paz are having protection against the reduced atmospheric oxygen. That is because they have been staying in the high altitude for about a couple of millennia. So it is giving an explanation. The purpose of the information in the sixth paragraph is to provide an explanation for a finding. So they are giving an explanation for this finding. So this is the correct answer option. That is answer option C. I hope all of you understood question number 21 and the correct answer option. Can we move on to the next question? Next, question number 22. What advantage of the research involving hen eggs is mentioned in the final paragraph? So here the keywords taken are advantage, research, and hen eggs. Where can you find the answer? You can find the answer in the final paragraph. So you have to concentrate mainly what is the advantage of the research done involving hen eggs. Okay, let's read the text. Gisani's group also discovered that they can replicate the findings observed in Andean pregnancies in hen eggs. Fertilized eggs from Bolivian birds native to sea level show growth restriction when incubated at high altitude, whereas eggs from birds that are native to high altitude show a smaller growth restriction. Moving fertilized eggs from hens native to high altitude down to sea level not only restricted growth, but the embryos were actually larger than the sea level embryos incubated at sea level. The researchers could thereby demonstrate something that only generations of migration in human populations would reveal. What's more, when looking for early markers of cardiovascular disease, the researchers discovered that growth restriction at high altitude was indeed linked with cardiovascular defects, shown by an increase in the thickness of the walls of the chick heart and aorta. This all suggests the possibility of halting the development of heart disease at its very origin, bringing preventive medicine back into the womb. So after reading the text, we have to read the answer options. Answer option A, the availability of supplies. The keyword is availability. Answer option B, the simplicity of the procedure. The keyword is simplicity. Answer option C, the reliability of the data obtained. The keyword is reliability. Answer option D, the speed with which results are seen. The keyword is speed. So you can put your answers in the chat box. Okay, let's see what's the correct answer. Yes, the correct answer is answer option D. The speed with which results are seen is the correct answer. Okay, let's see the eliminated ones. Answer option A, the availability of supplies. Is it mentioned regarding any availability of supplies? No, here just they're telling about the research done involving hen eggs and the placement of hen eggs from one altitude to another. Okay, so it is not about the availability of the supplies. It's not the advantage of the research. So we are eliminating answer option A. Answer option B, the simplicity of the procedure. Is it the advantage? What advantage of the research involving hen eggs is mentioned in the final paragraph? Is it the simplicity of the procedure? No, it is not about the simplicity of the procedure, and it is not mentioned that it is an advantage. It as an advantage. So we are eliminating answer option B. Next, answer option C, the reliability of data obtained, which is not mentioned in the text. Now let's see the correct answer option. You can see the highlighted ones in green color. That is moving fertilized eggs from hens native to high altitude down to sea level, not only restored growth, but after the contrast word, there's a contrast word, but the embryos were actually larger than the sea level embryos incubated at sea level. So this is the advantage. When they've moved the fertilized eggs from one altitude to another, they not only restored the growth, but they also grew larger in size. Okay. So that is the advantage. And the researchers could thereby demonstrate. So it is asking about the advantage of the research involving hen eggs. So what the researchers could do, the researchers could thereby demonstrate something that only generations of migrations in human populations would reveal. So if the human populations have been, they try this procedure, this study, like moving from one altitude to another, it will take years together to reach at the result. So this they could achieve at the earliest by just moving this fertilized eggs of hens from one altitude to another, and they have produced good results. That is, they not only restored the growth, but the embryos were actually larger than sea level embryos incubated at sea level. So it is showing the speed with which results are seen. Okay, so we have selected the answer option D. That is the correct answer. I hope all of you understood question number 22 and the answer options.